You're with Julian on the round note. A curious review of Jurassic World Dominion, and I say curious because I have trashed the Jurassic Park franchise as being one of the worst in film history. Every single film after the first one, the iconic original Jurassic Park, has been awful, etc., etc. It's been disastrous. 2 and 3 were awful. They relaunched it with the Jurassic World variant, which was just a complete retread of the first film. And they've been awful too. But I did give the second one a decent review. Not a good review, but a semi-decent review, because I liked everything that happened up until the island. The second one, all of the dinosaurs were on this volcanic island that was about to erupt, and there were these moral arguments as to whether or not you should save them, whether nature was killing them off, and that's how it should be. I loved all of that. I thought that was really strong, and then it descended, like the Achilles heel of the Jurassic World, all of the films, is the descent into T-Rex Velociraptor world, where that's like the last third of that film, it was just, Velociraptors and T-Rexes chasing around people like every other time. They've made so little use of the wild world of dinosaurs in these films. It's incredible. Everything always revolves around Velociraptors and T-Rexes, and they even give them, different paint jobs, and it's so I was half and half with the last film. There's certainly a lot I didn't like about it, but overall a near pass. But this one that's come out, Jurassic World Dominion, the 6th in the franchise, from the director Colin Trevorrow. Let's see what he's done. Safety Not Guaranteed, I thought was supposed to be pretty decent. Mainly, Star Wars Duels of the Fates. I don't even know what that is. Oh, okay, that was The Rise of Skywalker, the original version, which was the worst Star Trek film in history. So perhaps not a great track record there. So this time around, we're in a post the pre-Fallen Kingdom world where so one of the preeminent features of the last film was that there was a child who is Isabel Sermon in real life as Macy Lockwood. So she was cloned, and she sort of finds out that she's not a real little girl. Well, she is a real little girl, but she was cloned from the DNA of her mother, and this is set up to make you think that the granddad, who was one of the founding fathers of this sort of dino technology empire, couldn't bear the fact that his own daughter had died, so he cloned her, and that's what happened. But we later find out, much more interestingly, it isn't what happened. I'll give away this part of the plot because, like several elements in this film, which has been the most trashed by critics, 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, one of the worst blockbusters in modern history, which I expected going in, has some very thoughtful philosophical angles. This one is, it wasn't the evil mastermind granddad that cloned her, it was her mum. Her mum had a terminal illness, a genetic disease. She was a great scientist who wanted to have a child, but knew that she would pass on this illness to her child, so she, without using a male, and this is some of the more philosophically interesting elements, she asexually created a human being, and one where she removed the problem DNA from, so that her daughter would have a life and not die young, like she did. Which I thought was pretty profound and pretty interesting. So we get this Macy Lockwood living with the two main characters from all of the previous 3 films, which is Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and they're living in the woods, but the powers that be are hunting them down because we later find out that they want that little girl to find out how did they make her. And that's the crux mostly of the story. But on top of that, we also get one of the early characters from the original films has made this locust. And this locust was designed nefariously to eat other people's crops and leave the crops that were made by this evil empire in this one. Who is... Is it Rafe Spall? I'm not sure if it's respectable. I don't know who it is, but there's a guy that comes across as very Steve Jobs like, and he's a really good performance. I wish I knew which one it was. And he has created this billion-dollar empire where he's got the last of the dinosaurs all in this valley in Italy in the Alps. And he wanted to control the world's food markets, so he's let loose this locust on the planet. Unfortunately, this locust is actually eating all of the food on planet Earth, and we're heading to global extinction, which again I thought was another much more interesting motivational point than having a Velociraptor and a T-Rex chasing you around a country manor house at the end. So it's a film with a great deal of nihilism in it, because it's the world's heading for extinction. The food will be gone, and this guy is the biggest selling point is obviously that we get Laura Dern and Sam Neill back, the two stars of the original Jurassic Park world. They get dragged back in to go to this Italian Alp dinosaur retreat to try and prove that this guy did let loose these locusts on the world that's destroying all of the world's food. And we find Jeff Goldblum there, so we get the three biggest alumni from the original film, and they're basically trying to find out proof that this guy has virtually consigned the world to history. And along the way, there are some. See, now this has got trashed. I like this film. One of the problems I had with the subsequent films is how one note they were in regards to their environs. There's only so many times you can spend time, in these finite spaces. This is a much more Mission Impossible James Bond film. It travels the world, I thought, to decent effect, and I like the wider array of both characters and locations in this film. I thought it clipped along at a fair rate of knots. I thought Laura Dern had a great deal of passion to her role. Sam Neill was a bit in the background, and Jeff Goldblum was sparky as hell. I thought they were good. I thought they earned their place. I thought they were very good. I thought Chris Pratt was completely uneventful and non-interesting. One of the stars of this whole thing has been Bryce Dallas Howard. This heaving-bosomed heroine, which you don't get much now. She's got these incredible blue eyes and shock of red hair. And she's been really good as a standard swashbuckling heroine. And she's great here as well. So, and also the little girl who's doesn't even have a Wikipedia entry, Isabel Sermon. She's good as Maisie Lockwood. I thought she was excellent. She looks disturbingly like her mother as well. So I thought the progress of the story was interesting. I thought the themes about the world's global crop supply being tainted by a billionaire so that locusts eat everyone else's and he's the sole supplier of food to the world. And funnily enough, that going horribly wrong. Whoever it was that played the billionaire, I thought he was very convincing as that sort of post-Steve Jobs kind of billionaire. One person I wish had come back from the last film. Where is she? Daniela Pineda as Zia Rodriguez. She was fantastic. She was the standout of the last film for me. Really gorgeous, short-haired, slight gap tooth, I think, but a gorgeous comedian in real life as well. And I thought she was the standout of that last film. So she's only in it for 5 minutes, which I thought was a missed opportunity. I thought she could have been given a bit more of a run. They make use of other dinosaurs and velociraptors and T-Rex in this film. Who knew? We actually get to see a range of dinosaurs. I thought the denouement thing with the plagues of locusts on fire was kind of cool as well. I thought the majority of the cast was very well bolstered by not just... I saw someone calling Chris Pratt dead-eyed here. Whatever was special about Chris Pratt 5 years ago seems to have been just turned into action movie mush. Not really that much here would separate it from other films that he's done recently, though he does have good chemistry with Bryce Dallas Howard. I thought the introduction of... There's such a long cast is impossible to... I can't remember. There's an African American lady who plays a pilot in this film who gets them around, and she joins their side. I thought she was a bit nondescript. She's one of the top tier main characters. She's in virtually the whole film once she's introduced, and I didn't really think there was very much interesting about her, to be honest. But overall, I really like this film. I don't know why. I don't know. I think it was just it had a wider plot. It was sort of more outside of that set Jurassic Park universe. I thought the themes and some of the sort of more challenging moral issues in there were quite good. I thought it had the bigger cast bolstered it, particularly some sparky turns from Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum. And the effects and everything are really, really good. And the use of much more dinosaurs and environments, the ice bit was really cool. So I don't get it. I'm going to give Jurassic World Dominion a 7.5 out of 10. Everyone has trashed it.